Because he couldn't stand the thought of clocking in at 9 every morning, this man had ventured out to Siberia alone to live off the grid. But after getting injured one day, he heard a chilling story from the villagers. Years ago, a murderer on the run had hidden in these very woods. The bear trap he'd stepped into was likely left behind by that fugitive. But that was over a decade ago. The man had probably long since moved on. Before Jack left, the villagers warned him that a blizzard was coming in the next few days. He'd be better off staying put inside. But when the storm finally hit, Jack made a fatal mistake. He had seriously underestimated how long it would last. The firewood he'd prepared ran out fast. With no other choice, he braved the howling wind and snow to haul in more wood. The blizzard was so fierce he couldn't even keep his eyes open. He had to feel his way back. But no matter how long he trudged through the storm, he couldn't find the cabin. Desperate, he screamed into the wind. Terrified, he fired his rifle into the sky, but his cries and gunshots were swallowed whole by the relentless blizzard. Eventually, he collapsed. When he opened his eyes again, it was the next morning. Jack was stunned to find himself still alive. Firewood was neatly stacked inside, and a fire was blazing in the stove. Someone had saved him, but there was no way the villagers would have ventured out in that storm. The only person who could have rescued him was the murderer who'd been hiding in the forest for over a decade. Jack figured the gunshot must have drawn the man to him. Hoping to meet his mysterious savior, Jack headed outside to practice his shooting. Sure enough, it wasn't long before a stranger appeared nearby. The man claimed to be a poacher and warned Jack not to mention him to anyone. He told Jack that practicing like that was just wasting bullets. He could teach him how to shoot properly, but only if Jack handed over the rest of his ammunition. Under Jimmy's guidance, Jack's aim steadily improved. Once he had the bullets, Jimmy turned and headed back up the mountain. That night, Jack couldn't sleep. How had this man survived out here all these years? His curiosity about the mysterious Jimmy kept growing. The next day, Jack went looking for him. Before long, Jimmy appeared behind him. Jack introduced himself and mentioned that the villagers assumed he was long gone. Only then did Jimmy pull down his scarf, revealing a weathered, battle-worn face. They headed into the forest to hunt together. Jimmy took aim with quiet confidence and dropped his target with a single shot. After butchering the deer, the two sat by the fire, roasting the meat. Jack poured him a glass of liquor. Jimmy took it, his eyes going distant. He'd almost forgotten what alcohol tasted like. He asked Jack why he'd come to this place. Jack said he was looking for some peace and quiet. Jimmy shook his head. This land wasn't meant for humans. He told Jack to go back to the city, then grabbed his kill and walked off without looking back. The next day, a helicopter suddenly flew overhead and fired several shots into the forest. Jack assumed they were coming for Jimmy and rushed in to help. Thankfully, Jimmy was fine. He explained that some rich guy had just flown in to hunt bears. They weren't looking for him. The two followed a trail of blood to track the wounded bear. But when they reached the top of the ridge, Jack saw a blizzard sweeping in from the distance. Jimmy, with all his experience, immediately led them back down. They moved fast, but not fast enough. The storm was gaining on them. Luckily, Jimmy spotted an ice cave. They dug frantically through the snow, blocking the entrance, and finally crawled inside. Jack collapsed on the ground, his body trembling uncontrollably. To keep Jack's spirits up, Jimmy began telling him his story.